welcome to my cozy corner of the internet. Today I'm once again here to talk about all the games I played, this time in March. March has been the month I've been dreaming of for the past year, between moving countries, starting a YouTube channel, and trying to learn French. I feel like I never really had the proper time to sit down and play games to my heart's content, but this month I finally had all the time I wished for, so I played all the games I've been wanting to play and I'll talk about them now. So let's go. I started March with Wanderstop. I made a separate review video for it, so I'll try to keep it short as to not repeat myself, but in short, I loved it. We play as Alta, a fighter who's too exhausted she can't even lift her sword anymore, so she's forced to slow down and run a tea shop. What makes it different from normal cozy games is that she is sarcastic and she hates running a tea shop and interacting with customers. It's definitely not everyone's cup of tea, no pun intended. Actually, that was completely intended. It was literally on the script, which I carefully wrote. Anyway, if you're looking to play a different cozy game where the protagonist feels like a real person, I would definitely recommend Wanderstop. After that, I played another new cozy game, Grimoire Groves. Grimoire Groves is a roguelike dungeon crawler with whimsical art and vibrant colors. The gameplay revolves around restoring the garden and forest, and each run takes you into the forest to water adorable plants and gather materials. These plants feel like newborn babies. They just stick to you and ask for attention. At times, you'll have 30 mushrooms clinging to you, which is both chaotic and endearing. You can unlock new skills as you progress and swap between them, which adds nice variety. Of course, it's not all good. I have to be honest, the first hour felt confusing and the story is quite weak, which in my opinion should be a priority in a cozy game. The dialogue feels limited and the gameplay can get repetitive since it's very grindy. While some grindy games let you zone out with a podcast in the background, Grimoire Groves isn't really one of them. It's fast-paced and there are always a million plants demanding your attention. That said, I don't think it's a hard game, just one that requires a lot of engagement. Personally, I like that it keeps my full focus since I usually zone out in games like this. This way it helps me escape and disconnect from real life stress, which is exactly what I want from a game like this. Plus, it's really addictive. I just wish there was better storytelling because with stronger writing, this could be an incredible game. After that, I made my way to Jusant, which I learned is a French nautical term meaning receding tide, so it contributed to my French learning with a word I'll definitely never use. I'm happy about it nonetheless. Jusant, or shall I just say Jusant or Jusant, I don't know. Jusant takes place in a world where the ocean has mysteriously vanished, leaving behind towering cliffs and an abandoned civilization. We play as a climber, scaling an enormous tower once home to a thriving community that was forced to leave as the water receded. Along the way, we uncover letters and environmental clues that reveal their struggles, their hopes, and the way they adapted before eventually disappearing. At first, I wasn't too sure if a story told only through notes would grow on me, but it did. I started caring about these characters I haven't even seen. And of course, we have to talk about the main mechanic of the game, climbing. If your favorite parts in games like Uncharted, Tomb Raider, or the new Star Wars games are the climbing sections, then Jusant is perfect for you. I know it might be hard for some people to believe that the climbing sections in those games could be someone's favorite part, but honestly, they are for me. Jusant felt like a mix of climbing in those games plus journey. There are many different climbing mechanics, so the game never feels repetitive. I also really liked how we're never in danger of falling to our death. It's always relatively safe. There were also some moments where the scenery gave me goosebumps. My only two complaints would be, one, this is not even a complaint actually, I loved the soundtrack, but I just feel like it didn't have that wow effect that would take the game to the next level. Some soundtracks really take a good game and turn it into a masterpiece, like Celeste's soundtrack, but I feel like this game didn't have that. And 2, there are a lot of collectibles, which I'm okay with, but a lot of the time it wasn't really clear which was the main path versus the collectibles path, so I ended up going down the main path and was unable to return to the other area. There is a chapter selection once you finish the game if you're an achievement hunter, but I personally don't really enjoy going back and redoing the same areas, so I wish it was a bit clearer which way to go. After that, I started playing MiSide with zero knowledge of what to expect. I definitely didn't expect it to be so scary and disturbing. I mean, I definitely get scared easily and my bar is very low, but I actually loved how they made the scary parts bearable. It was balanced so nicely. It was always one cute part where we get to know the characters, followed by a horror part. They followed the formula perfectly, which made the game really enjoyable for me. When I was too scared, I just took a deep breath and motivated myself with, "Hold on, there will be a cute moment very soon." They made such a clear separation of when the game was trying to scare you versus when it was chill that even the escape menu drastically changes. I would definitely be unable to play otherwise, but I think they took super scared people like me into account and I appreciate it. Also, Happy Mita and Sleepy Mita world domination. Then I played a very short personality test game called Refined Self. The game ends once you reach 100% test progressions and you progress 1% every time you interact with any object, even if it's picking a flower or opening a door. I actually found myself starting to click things randomly toward the end because I was starting to get a bit bored. I felt like there wasn't a lot to interact with, which kind of made the game pointless in my eyes because you can talk to most of the characters and interact with almost everything before you reach the 100% mark anyway. I also read some people saying you should complete the game 3 times to understand the story, but I personally wasn't interested in the story at all, so after one playthrough I was done with it. I think it's a good game idea, but it wasn't executed well. And finally, for March, I played, well, or rather I watched Who Pressed Mute on Uncle Marcus, which is an interactive murder mystery movie. We play as Abby and we're in a chaotic family quiz night. We learn our Uncle Marcus has been poisoned. He secretly calls us, begging for help to figure out which family member did it before it's too late. So through video calls and passive-aggressive relatives, we gather clues, ask the right questions, and piece together the truth. The game doesn't take itself too seriously, so I didn't either. These games are always some nice, silly fun. I really enjoy them when I want to play something, but also just want to lean back and shut my brain off. My only criticism would be that I wish there was more time to choose something because, like I said, I'm usually leaned back and chilling, and then the game suddenly brings up a choice screen that only lasts for like 2 or 3 seconds. I hardly even have the chance to read, but the game expects me to read, decide, and click the corresponding choice. It's a bit too much for my small brain and slow reflexes. And that was everything I played in March. I think personally it was a great gaming month. Let me know what you played. I'm genuinely curious. And I'll see you in the next video or somewhere else on the internet. Bye bye!